Hello there. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Ann Johnson. I'm a keynote speaker, executive coach, and spiritual teacher. And today we're going to talk about this past week. It was very, very interesting. Some things happened, but Spirit was really showing me how that situation was helping me to better understand the chakra system. This seems to be very important at this time. Understanding our energy field, understanding how it works, and how our energy field interacts with our reality, and how we can begin to change our reality by changing our energy field. And that means coming into greater understanding and mastery of our chakra system. For those of you that are unclear about the chakra system, and listen, I was unclear about the chakra system until last year. I was one of those people that didn't really get it. I understood it intellectually, but I wasn't really working with my chakras. I'd done some kind of chakra clearing and things, but it was really last year where I started to go, oh, the chakra system, this is really important for me to understand. And so this past week was yet another opportunity for me to deepen my understanding of how our chakra system is essentially the lens through which we perceive and process our reality. So let me just start from the very beginning. So I was with some other people. I'm not going to get into all the details, but let's just say we had an agreement that we were all going to operate in a certain way, and some of those folks chose to do something different, okay? And the first thing that I started to take a look at was how their actions were coming from a place of the lower chakras. I've spoken about this in previous videos, but the first chakras, the first, second, and third chakras, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakras are really the chakras that are the personal chakras. They're the ones that really hold a lot of the lower vibrational energy and experiences in our lives. The first chakra relates to our bodies, survival, scarcity. It can hold a lot of that kind of abandonment, loss, annihilation. A lot of fears can reside in that first chakra. It's where we either feel comfortable in our bodies, feel comfortable being incarnated on the planet, or not. So the first chakra, the root chakra, is very important for grounding us in our bodies and in this incarnation. So the feeling of safety, of having our needs met, survival, security, that's all first chakra stuff. Second chakra is how we get our needs met from other people. So think about all the dynamics that go on when we are trying to get our needs met from other people. Power over versus power under, codependence versus interdependence, just all kind, right? Manipulation, exploitation, victimization, all of that is coming from that second chakra. Third chakra is about identity, ego, personal power, will, intention. Think about all the issues that can arise: self-esteem, self-worth, the story and the narrative that you tell yourself about yourself and your place in the world. Whether or not you have a sense of your own personal power to be able to get things done, to be able to push your ideas and agenda forward in this lifetime. That's all third chakra, solar plexus chakra, how you digest your experience, because the third chakra is linked to your digestive system. So how are you digesting and processing your experience in this lifetime through this lens of your own personal identity, your individual ego self? Third chakra. So those are the personal chakras. because they really do relate to you as an individual and how you relate to others from your individual ego identity. And then you have the transpersonal chakras, the fourth, the heart chakra, the fifth, the throat chakra, the sixth, your third eye chakra, and the seventh, your crown chakra. These chakras are where you really start to pop out of your own personal experience and start to see the connection, the neutrality, that everything is really connected and is working for, ultimately for our good, that it's all good. We don't have to judge. We don't have to criticize. It's where we could start to come into a greater sense of love and acceptance of ourselves, of others, of life. Fifth chakra is about self-mastery, being able to master our own energetic field, being able to master our own responses to life, to others, to experiences that we have. It's about discipline. It's about personal expression, how we express our ideas, our truth. Also what we consume, not just food, but the ideas that we consume, how we're spending our time. Do we have discipline over how we are consuming and what we are consuming, and taking into not only our bodies, but into our energetic field? Because everything that we experience in our reality has an energetic vibration and frequency. And so when you start to operate out of that fifth chakra, you start to more consciously and intentionally choose what you want to interact with in your environment based on frequency. Does this match my frequency? Does this match the frequency that I want to attain? Or is this a lower vibration that I'm consuming and allowing into my energy field that is ultimately weakening me or triggering me? You know, this is actually something, this is going on a tangent, but I think it's important when we're talking about the fifth chakra. This is something that Spirit has really been showing me over the last month or so. Because what I've noticed is that when I watch certain programs on television, I was like binge watching all of these body cam officer interactions with people. Totally fascinating. I was watching them more from kind of a sociological study of like where we are right now in this country. Like, whoo, wow, this is where we are. But very lower vibration, very low frequency, because the folks that are in these videos and the interactions with the police are just really out of the anger, fear, sadness emotions, right? And so I was binge watching these videos, and I was noticing that as soon as I would start watching those videos or something similar that had a low vibration, something would happen with my cats that would trigger me into fight or flight, anger, fear, sadness. Some kind of aggression would happen with my cats, and I'd be like, what just happened? And it was like, because that's what you're consuming, Michelle. So this week, I had to really start to exercise my discipline. And I was like, okay, Michelle, we're on a fast. We're on a fast of the programs that we are consuming. We're not going to watch these low vibrational videos anymore. We're going to watch videos that are more neutral, that have a higher, vibration to them. But let's just go for neutrality. Let's just go for some cooking shows. Let's just go for some home reno shows, not this, low vibrational stuff. So that's fifth chakra. Getting more conscious, getting more intentional, exercising choice in what we are consuming and bringing into our energy fields. Sixth chakra is your intuition. Seventh chakra is your connection with source, with all that is. Okay? So this incident happens in Chicago last week with these other folks that I was working with. And so the first thing that I noticed was that the folks that decided to break the agreement that we all had, they were coming from a place of wounded first and second chakra. they felt that they had to manipulate and scheme and do things in a dishonest way because they were running some stories of scarcity. And the only way that I can get my needs met is I need to be in competition with other people. I can't be equal, because if I'm operating from a place of equality, I might not come out on top. Also, third chakra. Third chakra is about your own personal power, your own identity. And so if you've got some wounding in your third chakra in terms of your identity, your belief in self, your self-esteem, your self-worth, if you're running a lot of insecurities, then it makes sense that you believe that if you are in competition with people, which is an illusion of the second chakra, if you are in competition with people, that you're not going to be able to come out on top because you believe that you're not enough. You believe that you're less than. And so the only way you can get your needs met is by being dishonest, being manipulative, breaking agreements, breaking contracts, so that you can compete and come out on top. Third chakra, second chakra, and then the scarcity. There's not enough. There's not enough to go around. Not coming from a place of abundance, that there's more than enough to go around. There's more than enough opportunity. There's more than enough money. There are more than enough resources, more than enough people and clients who can hire us. No, scarcity. So if there's scarcity, then I need to compete and I need to claw and I need to do whatever I need to do to come out on top. You see how these chakras work together? This is what I was starting to really understand. I'm starting to really understand how certain experiences that we have in life, they are a result of and a reflection of where we are in our progression through the chakra system, where we are in our healing of our chakras. And so what they do is they present opportunities for us. So let's just say if I was that person, if I was one of those people who broke the agreement that we all had and felt like I had to manipulate and scheme, if I was self-aware enough to be able to stop myself and go, wait a minute, what's going on? Why do I feel like I need to operate in this way? Then I might start to look at my scarcity stories. I might start to look at my competition stories that I was running in my second chakra. Oh, I've got to compete with people to get my needs met. I can't collaborate, because collaborate? What do you mean? I got to scrape and claw and backstab to get my needs met. I got to get one over on the other person. Second chakra wounding. I might look at my third chakra, solar plexus wounding that says, I'm not enough. Look at the insecurities that I might be running in that third chakra. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. Other people are going to see that about me. Other people are going to see this insecurity or that insecurity and therefore not want to work with me. Second chakra. So it might be an opportunity to heal some of those low self-esteem, low self-worth stories that are running in that third chakra. You see what we're going with this? It's a really, really elegant system. Really elegant. And it really helps us to understand the stories and the narratives and the experiences that are up for review when we have certain events happen in our lives, or we see ourselves start to operate from certain places. We see our behavior start to play out in certain ways. And if we are self-aware enough, which is the goal, we can start to stop ourselves and go, wait a minute, why do I feel like I have to do this? Why do I feel like I have to compete and manipulate and lie and be dishonest and break an agreement that we all had in order for me to further my career or get what I need or what? Why do I feel, wait a minute, hold on, right? Now, so that was the other people. For myself, when this happened, I could see how I started to work up the chakra system. So when it first happened, I had a lot of anger, but also some insecurity of, first chakra stuff. Am I going to get my needs met? Maybe there is scarcity. They've taken something away from me, and now I don't have that resource, right? So my first chakra, root chakra, started to get triggered. I worked through that. Wait a minute, Michelle. No, there's more than enough to go around. Then I started to progress to the second chakra. Wait a minute. Maybe I need to compete. Maybe I need to, right? Oh, hold on. No, there's no such thing as competition. That's an illusion. Your needs will be met. First chakra, your needs will be met. The people that want to work with you will want to work with you, regardless of whether or not you did this or did that. The people that want to work with you will work with you. Your needs will get met. All right. First and second chakras started to calm down. Then I went up to the third chakra. Ego. I can't believe I'm better than they are. Ego. The only reason they had to do that is because they weren't as good as me. My ego started to kind of take a bump up, right? Some pride, some envy, even. Ego stories about my identity and their identity. I'm better than them because I didn't do X, Y, Z. And I had to go, hold on, Michelle. Nah, we're not going to stay in these ego stories. Let's release these insecurities that are running these ego stories, because usually when we start to get into the ego of I'm better than so-and-so, it's usually in response to an insecurity that's gotten triggered. Okay? Hear that? If we start feeling like we're better than other people, it's usually because there's an insecurity that we're trying to compensate for. Oops. So I had to look at my insecurities and go, nah, we're not playing that game. We're not playing the superiority. I'm better than them, blah, 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 blah. Nope. Then I started to come into the fourth chakra, heart chakra. It's all good. It's all good. It's all going to work out. They're just working on their own stories. They're working on their own wounding. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to be able to see and change the way that they're operating, to change some of those stories that they are running that's leading to this kind of behavior. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to break that pattern. Great. Isn't that beautiful? And I happen to be a part of that, and maybe a catalyst for their healing. And this situation was an opportunity for me to take a deeper look at where I needed to be healed in my first, second, and third chakras, where I was running some scarcity stories, some competition stories, some insecurities, and ego, operating from a place of ego and superiority, so that I could heal, right? That's fourth chakra. Everything is working for the good of everyone. It's all good. But we've got to get out of those personal chakras so that we can pop into that fourth heart chakra and be able to see our experience from a place of neutrality. You see where we're going with this? One experience, and I was able to see the progression up the chakra system and use this one event as an opportunity to heal stories, energies, codes, patterns in my first, second, and third chakras so that I can get to that fourth chakra of neutrality, of love, of unity. We're all in this together. We're all working through our stuff. Nobody's better than anybody else. Nobody's worse than anybody else. Nobody's bad. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's evil. We're just at different places on our path where we're all getting to the same place. That is the fourth chakra. Whew. And let me just tell you, just even talking through this with you, when I'm starting to talk about the fourth chakra, there's just this relief, release and relief of like, it's all good. I don't have to be in ego. I don't have to be in resistance. I don't have to be in superiority. I don't have to be in scarcity. No, those are illusions. Because when we're in the heart chakra, we see it's all working out the way it needs to. We're all exactly where we need to be on our journeys. And everything is an opportunity to learn something about ourselves, to practice a skill, and to heal, which is the very title of this channel. Learn, practice, and heal. That's our work here on this planet. Now, let's talk briefly about how the fifth chakra came into place here. Well, the fifth chakra was really about seeing this event from a place of self-mastery. And it was an opportunity for me to express my truth about how I felt about the situation. So I used this experience as an opportunity for me to articulate my truth in a way that was very respectful, tactful, but honest. It was very elevated. I didn't get into the anger, fear, sadness emotions. I stayed elevated. I stayed on, here's what I observed. Here's what I understood. Here are my feelings about it. And I'm not looking for a response. I'm just wanting you to know how I feel. That's fifth chakra, baby. That's the power of fifth chakra. Truth expressed in a way that is respectful. So I use this experience as an opportunity for me to deepen my own practice in expressing my truth, expressing boundaries, but doing it in a way that is neutral. Neutral, not from a place of anger, not from a place of superiority, but I could only do that by working through my own feelings and stories. First, second, third, getting to the fourth chakra of like, oh, it's all good. Then I could more clearly express my truth in a way, again, that's respectful. So that was the fifth chakra through that experience. The sixth chakra, I'm always using my intuition. I'm always using my clairvoyance. That is what is allowing me to see what I need to learn, practice, and heal through the first, second, and third chakras. I'm always attuned to my intuition, always asking spirit, all right, what's going on here? What's important for me to know? What's important for me to focus on? What is the lesson here? What do I need to heal? What do I need to clear? Oh, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that emotion. Okay, what's that all about? Oh, interesting. Okay, right? I'm always operating from my clairs, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizant. So my sixth chakra is pretty much on all the time. I have such adeptness with my intuition at this point because I've been working with it for 20 years that it's like, okay, let's just flip the switch and start working for my sixth chakra. So that is always on. Seventh chakra. It's everything that we experience here adds to the all. Everything we experience adds to the all. And we are all connected. Thank you, folks who did that. Thank you. Because you allowed me to see more clearly myself, what I need to heal. You allowed me to use this experience to further myself on my path, deepen my mastery. Thank you. We're all one. We're all on this journey together. And whether we realize it or not, we are all helping each other, assisting each other along our paths, along our journeys in service to Source. Seventh chakra. And I tell you, it's so interesting as I've been describing this experience, working through the chakras, in real time, I'm progressing through the chakras and I can feel the difference. When I was talking about the first, second, and third chakras, I could feel the constriction in the pit of my stomach. When I got to the heart, it was like, yeah. When I got to the fifth chakra, there was such power and clarity and conviction. Sixth chakra, openness, expansion. Seventh chakra, communion with Source. So, I didn't know where this was going to go, but that's what I wanted to share with you. It just feels like understanding the chakra system is very important, especially for this time that we find ourselves in on the planet. Because we need to understand that we are energy beings. We think that we are these human bodies walking around, going to work, doing the thing. But that is keeping us from seeing ourselves as energy beings that are consciousness in form. And the more we start to understand that, that is really when everything will start to shift on the planet. That is the original intent of the human body, is to be a conduit, a physical manifestation of consciousness. Wow. Okay. So we're supposed to start to come into a greater understanding of the nature of our human design. And it's not just about this physical body. It's about the chakra system. It's about the auras. It's about how our energy fields blend and interrelate and interconnect and affect each other. We're starting to get there. It's great that we're now talking about the nervous system. That is a term that is out in the zeitgeist. Everybody's talking about the nervous system, and that's fantastic because now we have an understanding of the mechanism that keeps getting triggered, that keeps us in fight or flight, that keeps us in anger, fear, sadness. It's the nervous system. That is the very animal part of our human bodies that just reacts and responds. So the more that we can heal our nervous system by healing our chakra system, that is going to help not just us individually continue to progress and evolve, but the entire human race. Because the mechanism for wars, the mechanism for conflict is an unhealed energy field that keeps triggering our nervous system to go into fight and flight and start and keep warring with each other. We're breaking that cycle. We're learning to break that cycle. But first, we have to become aware of the mechanism that keeps perpetuating that cycle. And a lot of that has to do with how trauma is stored in the body, in the energy field, how experiences are passed down from generation to generation, epigenetics, and that we can control and have mastery over our energy field. We don't have to be victims of our energy anymore. We are supposed to become masters of our energy. And that is where we are moving into. So I'm going to pause there. A lot came through, but that's what happens when you connect with your upper chakras. You get that higher perspective and you get clarity on not just yourself individually, but collectively as a species, where we are and where we're moving toward. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. Until the next video, you know I love you. Be well. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Drop me a DM, drop me a question, drop me a comment. Thank you so much. Take care.